I broke up with my boyfriend because he kept complaining about missing hunting while helping me during a dental emergency. Last Tuesday, I was at work when this horrible pain shot through my tooth, like someone was drilling into my jaw with a power tool. I called the dentist and they said I needed emergency surgery that afternoon because the infection could spread. I hate asking anyone for help. My ex-fiance was terrible about showing up when I needed him, so I've learned to just handle everything myself. I figured I'd drive there, get a shot, and be fine. But right before I left work, my boss pulls me aside and goes, "Hey, me and Jake have a backup plan to come pick you up if you need sedation." They were willing to drive an hour each way just to help me out. That's when I realized this might be more serious than I thought, so I called my boyfriend Matt, who lives 10 minutes from my work and had absolutely nothing planned that day. I asked if he could come with me just in case. He said sure, no problem. The surgery was awful. They had to cut into my gum and drain this massive infection. I was completely out of it afterward, dizzy and nauseous from the anesthesia. Matt had to basically carry me to the car. That's when he started. We're not even out of the parking lot and he goes, "You know, I really prefer when things are scheduled ahead of time. I could have been out hunting today." I'm sitting there with gauze stuffed in my mouth, barely able to talk, and he's complaining about missing hunting. I managed to mumble that emergencies can't be scheduled and that if he'd actually been hunting, I obviously wouldn't have called him. He laughed and said he was just joking, but then 5 minutes later, he brings it up again. It's just that this is prime hunting weather, and I had my gear all ready to go. I couldn't believe it. Here I am, in actual pain, and he's making me feel guilty for ruining his imaginary hunting plans. The guy wasn't even planning to go hunting. He was going to sit on his couch playing video games all day like he does every day. I offered to buy him dinner as a thank you, thinking maybe food would improve his mood. We passed this soup place and I asked if we could stop because I hadn't eaten anything in 2 days and was starving. He made this face and goes, "I don't really like soup. Can't we just go somewhere else?" I had surgery in my mouth. I could barely chew. Soup was literally the only thing I could eat, and he's being picky about restaurants. That's when it hit me. My coworkers, who barely know me, were more willing to help than my own boyfriend. They offered to drive 2 hours total just to make sure I was safe. Matt drove 20 minutes and acted like I owed him my firstborn child. When we got to my apartment, I was done. I texted him that night and told him exactly how I felt. His response was classic. "You're being way too sensitive. I was just making conversation. You're turning nothing into a big drama." But here's the thing. When someone you love needs help, you don't spend the whole time reminding them how inconvenient it is for you. You don't make jokes about what you'd rather be doing. You just help them because that's what decent people do. I told him we were done. He tried to argue, saying I was overreacting and that he did help me. But showing up isn't enough when you spend the entire time making the other person feel bad about needing you. The crazy part? 2 days later, he texted me asking if I wanted to go hunting with him this weekend, like we were still together, like I'd want to do the activity he cared about more than my medical emergency. I blocked his number and haven't looked back since.